Okay, my quick thoughts on INDU. I think that INDU is actually in the same kind of position that we're all feeling. I think it's at a complete point of indecision, but still trying to point down a little bit. Talk mentioned as a head and shoulders. I'm not real sure I see it that way. I would see it more, I think, along these lines of if it can hold this trend line without getting below it here. Right now I see it trying to hold that. I think this thing, when I got somewhat optimistic about the Dow, was when we had everything kind of trending up at this time. We had a pretty nice pinch going on that it was coming off of, and then still trying to trend north. We had the full stow, bottoming and making a move. What's about one few things it's got going on right now is it's still trying to make a move somewhere near the bottom, trying to curl back up. Back at that time too, we were seeing the MFIs trying to move their way north. See, the AD actually still has a little uptrend going on, which is kind of, if you look at it actually extended past this little move it was making. It's still trying to move north, even though it's been coming down, 1,000 points over the last month. I think you got the CCI stuck down here in a very indecisive point where it looked like it was going to try and come out, break north of negative 100, but now it's curling back down again. Now I wanted to try and draw sorry, this MACD line. Of course, I got that in gray. Where that line's been broken. Now you still have a shot at this, possibly coming through here and making a break back north. We got a little bit of separation. Looks like it's trying to curl again. I think it's stuck in that absolute middle of the road where it's very indecisive about which way it's going to go. My thoughts kind of all along were that we were going to come back down here and test this 74, 7,300 area. If we pulled back to a different chart, I think we'd see that as a little bit of a support area outside of just this one spot. So we've got a little bit of ugliness going on with the downtrend we've got happening here. Hopefully we'll see this start to turn. We've got the short RSI perhaps going to make a little bit of a curl. Obviously you can get a great deal of separation between those two a lot of different times. Um, if we put the 2 on here, we'd see this coming down to, and that's your 2-5 bounce that we talk about a lot of times with hopefully a little bit of indication things are going to start to head north. Right now, I think the chart's still kind of mixed up. I'm looking forward to try and keep this little wedge it's got going on. If it comes down, then I'm going to be looking for down here for some sort of double bottom idea. That's what I'm seeing in INDU right now. There's nothing super positive and nothing really that terribly negative. I think it just shows a lot of indecision going on right now with it. So now I'm just going to hope that this thing can find a way to pull itself back up and see if we get a little bit of bounce. I think a lot of things depending on what the government's going to kick out. A lot of earnings coming out this week. The GDP report's coming out Friday, which they're calling for a pretty significant decrease there somewhere. I think expectations are as high as 6%. So We're just going to have to see what happens with this. We're going to see if this full stoke can give it a little bit of a curl, give it a little bit of a pull, get the MACD turning up, get some of these indicators turning up, and we'll go from there. Right now, I'll be looking at obviously the break of the 50-day, and then possibly this trend line, and then again this area right through 9,000, which seems to be setting itself up as a pretty tough area right through there. So I'll be looking for a break of that. It's going to start for me with holding this trend line, holding this 50-day, and then making a run at the trend line and the resistance. Not super happy about it since it lost the good opportunity it had coming off of that pinch. Things were looking pretty positive there. I was feeling pretty good when it broke through right in this area that we had a good shot at making a movement coming up and testing this resistance area, but it just didn't happen. Not enough strength in the market right now. Anyway, there's my thoughts on INDU.